we owe the community is a list of, okay, if you have to go off post, right, and we've got a lot of people who have access to the installation who live off post, right? So our DOD civilians, our contractors, all of our Korean national employees, they all live in the communities. We owe them a list of what's okay. What's within the acceptable boundaries of risk. But here's how I can help everyone. Here's the first order principle. Only do what you have to do. Only do what you have to do off the installation. Just the essentials to live, right? So you got to be able to feed yourself and your family. Got it. You got to be able to get to the doctor. I got it. You got to go to the bank. You might have to go to seek help from the law enforcement, right? These are things that are minimum essential that you have to do. There's plenty of other things that can just wait. This is not the time for leisure activities and taking a time out from all the stress and strain and going someplace where there's large groups, etc., and taking the risk of being exposed. Now, again, very positively, we all watched the numbers here of COVID-19 positive cases in Korea. There's been a steady decline because of measures taken by the ROK government, local authorities, KCDC. I've already talked about their extensive testing capability, right? So they've really squashed the curve down. And we track it closely every single day. We're looking for 3, 5, 7 straight days in double digits. And then our next goal to watch is when they get it under 50, right? And then down to 25, and then that'll give us an indicator that the virus actually has been stopped. We're not there yet, right? It's certainly much better than it was 3 weeks ago in Korea. But we've got a ways to go, and that's why I keep telling people we're not out of the woods. We're not out of the woods. Now is not the time to become complacent. Now is the time for us to be vigilant, hyper-vigilant. Now is the time for us to take extra precautions. Now is the time to really buckle down, and it is. I tell everybody it requires a lifestyle change. This is not how we normally live. I fully understand it. My wife and I have made that lifestyle change out of necessity, and everybody has to buy into that to keep the community safe. That's fundamentally what it is about the public health emergency.
All right, well, we have a few more things that we do want to discuss and continue the conversation, but we've got to get back into some music right after this.
So instead of playing music, this is DJ Sieg. Remember, I am playing a rebroadcast from a couple hours ago. That is DJ Mystic interviewing the USFK Commander, General Abrams. I'm going to go right back into the interview, so just give me a second, and we'll hop right back into that.
And that was Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. My name is DJ Mystic. The time is 12:36 p.m. and you are listening to the Pinwide Show. In this hour, I've been in the studio with the USFK Commander, General Robert Abrams, and we have been talking about recent mitigation measures for COVID-19. We've mentioned the public health emergency, and now we wanted to talk a little bit about Daegu. I know we don't mention Daegu a lot, to just kind of give them some love and see what is going on down there. So for Daegu, are they currently under the same situation that we are at Humphreys, or how has that situation progressed?
Yeah, so thanks for asking, because I was talking about this yesterday. Daegu, everybody, it's not just Daegu, it's everybody in Area 4, right? Because we've got CNFK down in Busan. They are just flat knocking it out of the park. If you think about the enormity of what they've accomplished, 4 little bases there in the heart of Daegu or on the periphery, and that community has rallied. They got great leadership at every level. They've been amazingly resilient. They've led the way. Great community spirit, and knock on wood, I mean, they have flat knocked this virus flat on its back and kept it out of their installations, kept it out of their bases, kept it out of their formations, kept it out of their families, and they have done a remarkable job. And in many ways, because that city was hardest hit first, they have been on point for all of U.S. Forces Korea, and everybody, to include me, has gone to school on what they're doing. From the senior commander down there, General Simmerly, the garrison team led by Colonel Ed Belanco, and everybody down there. It's a small community, it's a small staff, but they have worked tirelessly 24/7, and they are they're just doing a fantastic job. They've got a great public outreach with their public affairs team. It's a tiny little public affairs team, and they have stepped up to the challenge, and they are really just getting after it every single day. So all of us should be very, very proud of what they've accomplished. Unfortunately, the city of Daegu, for a variety of reasons, did have high numbers, but we're watching that. Let me pull up my report from yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. But while I'm pulling it up, I want to say Daegu, 20 cases in all of the city yesterday. I mean, it's a great community effort.
So Daegu
26.
Just 26.
26 cases in the vicinity of Camps Walker, Henry, George, and Carroll. Think about that. I mean, that's just remarkable. And they've been on a steady decline. I mean, they've been well under 50 now for a couple of days. They're just doing a terrific job. And the city and Area 4, Team 19 down there, and everybody at those 4 bases, they've just done a fantastic job. And unfortunately, what I was getting to is Daegu is still it's considered like a global hotspot. And they're not out of the woods. And the mayor down there, he'll be the first one to tell you, they're not out of the woods. They're not ready to relax anything. But the record of accomplishment by our military community down there, for medical reasons, back to the States. And so the team down there has done a fantastic job getting it all lined up. And so they're initially going to have to go to the Bethesda Walter Reed Medical Center there in Washington, D.C. in Bethesda. And so they're looking for lodging, right? And the Fisher House, immediate response was, they're from Daegu? Oh yeah, they can't stay here. We don't want them. We don't want them potentially exposing other of our critically, ill family members and so forth that are there in the Fisher House. Well, I don't think that's right, personally, because they're not in the city, right? They have been amazingly compliant, vigilant. They've done everything exactly right. We shouldn't paint those people down. They've done a fantastic job. They should be celebrated for what they've accomplished. And so I'm going to work on changing that narrative for those folks, because what I'm concerned about is for the next 3, 4, 5 months, if once we get to a point where we can open up PCSs again, people from Daegu, right? If we put them on Patriot Express, the government of Japan won't accept them because they live in Daegu. Well, they don't live in Daegu. They live in Area 4 on USFK bases. It's not the same, but they're getting painted in the same light, and that's just not right to me. So we're gonna take that on. It's gonna take us. It's not gonna happen tomorrow, but that's on my radar screen, and we're gonna tackle that one.
So you mentioned authorized departure, sir. So what exactly is an authorized departure?
Okay, so for those of you who haven't been paying attention, so the Department of State last week authorized departure. First, it came out with an authorized departure for with instructions for Department of State persons who have health risk, increased risk of contracting the virus. authorized departure applies to service members, families, and DoD civilians worldwide. What that fundamentally means is that if a USFK affiliated person, a beneficiary, one of those categories, right? So a DoD civilian or a family member who believes that they have a increased risk of a poor outcome if they are exposed to the virus, or other commensurate reasons, not detailed, but other reasons, then they are probably, and they, based on their own personal situation and their own personal assessment, they may request for an authorized departure. And what that means for family members, particularly, the designated safe haven. In these situations, the State Department designates safe haven. Where can you go? For the Department of Defense, for our family members, that would mean anywhere in the continental United States is designated the safe haven. So they get to decide where they want to go. And fundamentally, the government picks up the plane fare, and they'll go back. When the when the conditions change, and if that family member decided to come back, then they would be authorized to come back and rejoin their service member. Now, each service, there's a number of different potential entitlements that go along with this. We see it, a good rule of thumb is to always look for people who are doing good, right? They're doing it right. So we see it everywhere. Social distancing is a critical component, right? 2 meters. We're sitting here in the studio, we're 2 meters. You're in line at the shop at, it's 2 meters. You're in line at PX, it's 2 meters. You're in line at the commissary, it's 2 meters. You're in your office space, you're spreading out 2 meters. We just have to, it actually works if you just don't get close to people. Personal hygiene, right? So wiping down surfaces, keeping hand sanitizer nearby, keep your hands clean, don't touch your face, washing your hands for 20 seconds in soap and water, and being vigilant about it. And that's one of these lifestyle changes, right? I'll be the first one to admit that's not something, except coming out of the bathroom, I'll do that, but it's not something I think about as a routine habit throughout the day, right? So you've got to change how you do business, right? I don't sit on a chair now until I wipe it down. I spray my keyboard and my mouse, and if anybody has, because I've got guys that people have to sometimes touch my equipment. If somebody's in my office, yeah, I'm spraying it down. I pick up the phone, I'm wiping it down. It's that level of vigilance. Keep surfaces clean, keep yourself clean, keep anything you're touching clean. That all contributes to killing this virus and just stopping the deadness tracks and killing it. And that, if everyone would just follow that and be really good about it, and then when they see others who aren't as good about it, in a friendly manner, suggesting, hey, could you give me some space? Hey, could you wipe that down? Right? Those little things, it all contributes to reducing the risk of spreading the virus. So, another good example, right? So I'm not sure when it happened, but the buses on Humphreys, right? So they've really reduced, right? It's every other row that's available for people to sit in, and nobody sit next to each other, as an example. We see units doing PT, small groups, double arms interval. We should not be doing large formations. We should not be doing large formations. We should not have a company formation. I can't think of a reason why we would need to do a company formation. We have to think differently about how we're going to communicate actions and orders to our soldiers. And this is a great opportunity. Sergeant Major Tagg and I talk about this all the time. This is a great opportunity for young leaders, junior leaders, right? Team leaders, squad leaders.